Hello, my name is Ajahn John, and today I am going to correct and improve this student's essay. You can see the essay question and the student's answer printed below. The areas I have highlighted in bold either have mistakes or I am going to make some improvements. I would suggest that you read through the essay first before you listen to my comments. Also, if you are listening to this talk on YouTube, if there is anything you do not understand, you can click on subtitles or transcript. Sometimes there will be mistakes with this because it is using voice recognition software. However, you should find it fairly accurate. And if there are words which I think may be difficult, I will repeat them, or I may spell them, or I may do both. You should find this voice recognition facility extremely useful, so I would advise you to use it. So let's look at the essay. Let's look at paragraph 1. The first sentence has an unclear meaning. The writer talks about since humans were born, help each other, but I'm not really sure what her main idea here is. I think maybe she is trying to say that human beings are only one species on the earth and that we should show more respect for the environment. So let's change this first sentence. Human beings are only one part of the natural world. There are many other species and a complex natural environment. As we are the intellectual leaders in our small world, we should take responsibility for being more careful about how we treat our world. Treat our world. T-R-E-A-T. Second sentence, however, nowadays, human beings, know the here, are damaging the natural environment for the sole benefits of human society, soul, S-O-L-E, and human happiness. The word advance is not quite clear here, so I'm changing that to happiness, thinking that what the writer is intending here is to say that we are basically quite selfish and use the environment for our own benefit. So human happiness regardless of the consequences, plural, for the next generation. Actually, that should be generations with NS, for the next generations. That's a reasonable introduction. With the changes I have made, it should get top marks in IELTS or TOEFL. As the essay is written at the moment, it will get around 6, I think, in IELTS. But with the changes I make, it should be able to get 9. That's 120 in TOEFL. So moving on to the second paragraph. Again, this first sentence is really quite unclear. The meaning is unclear. The writer is talking about consequences, no one to protect the environment, nature being degraded, maybe permanently. So I'm going to rewrite this sentence. We are already seeing the dire consequences, dire, D-I-R-E, consequences of uncontrolled abuse of the environment. Abuse, A-B-U-S-E. Many species are becoming extinct. Global warming continues to threaten us with extreme weather events. And deforestation is leading to massive and disastrous changes in the landscape. Massive and disastrous changes in the landscape. So here I'm giving more detail, which is going to get a better grade. Moving on, today we are facing severe environmental problems such as air, water and land pollution. Semicolon after pollution, deforestation, extinction of many plants and animal species. We can't use the word endemic here. Endemic means be everywhere. It's usually used about negative things such as crime, for example. We might say crime is endemic in our cities, but it's not appropriate when we're talking about species. And water shortages, S on shortages. All of the above problems are happening because human beings care only about their own benefit. Now, the last part of this sentence, we must take care of the natural environment, is not really linked to the first part of the sentence. So I think we need something in the middle. So I have put a series of dots, a dotted line after benefit, and here you should insert the phrase. So we must fight this selfishness if we are to take care of the natural environment for future generations. Just inserting that idea in the middle of the sentence makes the sentence clear and meaningful. Moving on now to paragraph 3. We should start to protect the natural environment in 3 easy ways. We don't need by ourselves, because really that is repetition. When we say we should start, that means we, so we don't have to again say ourselves. Firstly, we should reduce the amount of waste we create. Again, this phrase is not clear, choosing what rubbish we throw away. I think the writer's idea here is to not throw things away which may still have some use. So we should change this. We create by trying to use things as long as possible and choosing carefully what we decide to throw away, and also by changing our consumption habits, not lifestyle. I think consumption habits here is clearer. Where I have put the dotted line, we should insert the phrase by becoming more frugal, F-R-U-G-A-L, and buying only what we really need in the supermarket and the department store. Here we should have a comma after need. Paragraph 4. Next, we should reuse everyday items such as plastic carrier bags with an S, paper, old clothes and newspapers. Plastic carrier bags can be reused several times, or as bin bags, or in other ways around the house. I have made some changes and added some detail there. We can use paper and cloth bags which are environmentally friendly too. And the last sentence in this paragraph, for example, we can buy products that can be recycled, such as paper, glass jars and tin cans. And final paragraph, number 5. In conclusion, we can save the world with our own hands. in 3 easy ways, which are, then we have a colon, 2 dots, which are reducing, reusing and recycling. Our use of products made from the natural environment, comma, in this way we can protect our earth for future generations. So again, I have made some additions and changes there. Now the essay as it stands would, as I said before, get around 6 in IELTS, but I think the writer can make it much better herself just by using a simple strategy, and this is to give more examples and be less abstract. So I'm going to do this now. On the end of paragraph 3, I'm going to give an example and more detail. You should insert this where I have printed a number of ones. So the writer in this paragraph is talking about being more careful in our use of stuff and also the way in which we buy. Be less extravagant and be more frugal. Be less extravagant and be more frugal. So here's my example. My grandfather, who is 91 now, hardly ever buys new clothes. For his last birthday, I bought him a new pair of trousers, and I am really glad to say he threw away his old pair, which he had been wearing for, it must have been at least 20 years. Now my grandfather is an exemplar, E-X-E-M-P-L-A-R, of the virtue of frugality. If more people were like him, we would have far less problems with our environment. However, I am not suggesting to anyone that they wear the same pair of pants for 20 years. So that simple example is going to get you a very high grade because it includes some better vocabulary. I have also included the past perfect tense, which will get you a higher grade. And you should also find that using this method of inserting stories into your writing should make it easier for you to compose your answer. Students tend to stay too abstract in the way they answer questions. They should try to give more real life examples or examples from their imagination. It does not have to be real. So another example I will give at the end of paragraph 4, where I have printed a number of 2s. Here the writer is talking about buying products which can be recycled or maybe which are already made from recycled material. So here's my example. Yesterday I went into a bookshop to buy a new notebook. There was a large choice, including notebooks made from recycled paper. Although these were a little bit more expensive, I decided to buy one of those because it made me feel that I was helping the environment. I had lost my previous notebook the day before when I left it on the bus, so I really needed to make this purchase urgently. So again, I have introduced the past perfect tense, which is going to get you a higher grade. This is the student's second essay for me, and I am beginning to see some encouraging improvements, and I would like to advise her that she can improve much quicker if she tries to use stories as examples inside the essay answer, as I have done in paragraph 3 and 4. The important stage when you're answering an essay question is probably the planning stage, right at the beginning when you are making a few notes before you start writing. Here you should have a clear idea of how you are going to answer the question, and in particular you should have thought of 2 stories to include in the essay which are going to illustrate your main argument. Okay, thank you for listening and good luck with your next assignment. Bye bye.